The fleeting power in the workplace and eternal values, wisdom from Ecclesiastes. Source: the Bible. Ecclesiastes, the Analects of Confucius, Buddhist scripture, Dhammapada. What is power? The dynamics of human relationships within the small society of a workplace are akin to a miniature version of grand history. What does it mean for one person to stand above another, issuing commands and directives in that moment of authority? As stated in Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven, all power has its time and its limits." Power in the workplace, in particular, has clear boundaries. It is merely a temporary authority granted within the structure of an organization. Yet, humans easily fall into the illusion that such temporary power is eternal. The declaration in Ecclesiastes 1 verse 2, "Vanity of vanities, all is vanity," pierces through this very human delusion with profound wisdom. In the moment of wielding power, complex emotions arise within the human heart, feelings of superiority, satisfaction, and sometimes even relief. These emotions are natural human responses. However, the problem emerges when these feelings become overly intense. When one is swept away by momentary emotions and misuses power, the consequences can leave irreversible wounds. In the Analects, Confucius said, "The gentleman is dignified but not arrogant, respectful yet at ease." True leadership does not lie in power itself but in how it is exercised. Power is merely a tool. Depending on how it is wielded, it can be constructive or destructive. Looking deeper into why humans pursue power, it often stems from insecurity. There is a desire to affirm one's own worth and to gain recognition from others. This desire, in itself, is not wrong. The issue lies in the methods used to fulfill it. The Dhammapada in Buddhist teaching states, "All things are impermanent." Power is no exception. Today's superior can become tomorrow's subordinate, and current success can turn into future failure. Realizing this impermanence allows one to break free from attachment to power. Does recognizing this fleeting nature mean resignation? Not at all. On the contrary, it is when one acknowledges impermanence that true wisdom begins. As Ecclesiastes 3 verse 12 notes, "I know that there is nothing better for people than to be happy and to do good while they live. Those who understand impermanence can cherish the present moment even more deeply." Power in the workplace is undoubtedly temporary. However, what one leaves behind through that power depends entirely on personal choice. If power is used to oppress and hurt others, those wounds will linger long after the power fades. Conversely, if power is used to help and nurture others, that positive influence will endure beyond the loss of authority. In the Analects, it is said, "Governing with virtue is like the North Star, which remains in its place while all other stars revolve around it." True leadership does not rely on power. Influence rooted in virtue and character does not vanish with a change in position. Humans instinctively seek the eternal. They attempt to attain eternity through power, but this is a futile effort. Power itself cannot be eternal. However, the relationships built, the teachings imparted, and the values realized through power can endure. As Ecclesiastes 12 verse 13 states, "Fear God and keep His commandments, for this is the duty of all mankind." What truly matters is not power itself but how it is used. Emotions are fleeting, yet their impact lasts. Reflecting on how many people have been hurt by decisions made under the influence of momentary emotions while in power reveals the weight of authority. Power is never something to be taken lightly. It is a potent tool that directly affects the lives of others. According to the Buddhist principle of cause and effect, every action brings a corresponding result. If power is used for good, positive outcomes follow. If misused, negative consequences ensue. This is not merely a moral lesson but a law of life. Even after power fades, its consequences continue to resonate. How, then, should those who hold power conduct themselves? First, they must acknowledge the temporary nature of power. Recognizing that today's authority is not eternal fosters humility. Humility is an essential virtue for using power rightly. Second, power must not be used as a tool for personal satisfaction. Power should be a means to achieve organizational goals and support the growth of its members. The moment it is used to fulfill personal emotions or desires, it becomes abuse. Third, constant reflection on what legacy to leave through power is necessary. As Ecclesiastes 7 verse 1 says, "A good name is better than fine perfume." What holds true value is not temporary status or power but reputation and character. Looking back at history, countless individuals who held power come to mind. Some used their authority to satisfy personal desires, while others sought to achieve greater good through it. Over time, what is remembered is not the magnitude of their power but what they did with it. Confucius said, "The gentleman is clear about righteousness, while the petty person is clear about profit." Those who hold power bear greater responsibility. They must pursue righteousness over personal gain and make judgments from a long-term perspective rather than being swayed by momentary emotions. Those who realize the fleeting nature of power can, paradoxically, become freer. Unattached to power, they can make bolder decisions and build more authentic relationships. Freed from the fear of losing power, they gain the courage to do what is truly right. What, ultimately, remains? Power itself does not endure. However, the changes brought about, the people nurtured, and the values realized through power can remain. As Ecclesiastes 11 verse 1 advises, "Cast your bread upon the waters, for after many days you will find it again." Acts of positive influence return in unexpected ways at unexpected times. The choices made in moments of power determine future evaluations. Decisions driven by fleeting emotions can become lifelong regrets, while choices made with principle, even in difficult circumstances, can become lifelong sources of pride. Power merely provides the stage for such choices. Human life is finite, and everything changes. Yet, amidst this change, some things remain constant, values like love, truth, and justice. When power is used to realize these eternal values, even fleeting authority gains meaning.